some sense. Sir, sir, it cannot be. Why not, of the better part made mercy, I would not make an absent argument in my revenge, thou being present. But look to it. Find your brother wheresoe'er he is. Seek him by candle. Bring him dead or living within this 12 months, or turn you no more to make your living in our territory. Thy lands and all the things that thou dost call thine will seizure, do we seize into our hands, till thou canst quit thyself, or by thy brother's tongue of what we think against thee.
That your highness knew my hardness. I've never loved my brother in my entire life.
More villain thou. Well, turn him out of doors, and my officers of a certain nature will make an extent on his house and lands. Do it expediently, and turn him going.
Hang there and witness of my love. And thou shalt, thrice crowned Queen of Night, survey with thy chaste eye, from thy pale skin above, thy huntress's name, in which my full life doth sway. O Rosalind, these trees shall be by books, and in their bark my thoughts shall character. You should read those. And every eye in the forest looks will see her virtue everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
Ah! How likes you this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Oh, truly, shepherd. In respect of itself, it is a good life, but in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is not. Now, in respect that it is solitary, I like it well. But in respect that it is private, it is a most vile life. Now, in respect that it is here in the fields, well, it pleaseth me well, but in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. In respect that it is a spare life, well, look you, it fits my humor well, but as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more, but that I know, the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. And that he that wants money, means, and content is without 3 good friends. That the property of rain is to wet and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep. And that a great cause of the night is a lack of the sun.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. Wast ever at court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Truly? Oh, then thou art damned!
Nay, I hope.
Oh, yea, surely you are damned, like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason.
Well, if thou never wast at court, thou never sawest good manners. If thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a most parlous state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners in the country are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior of the country is most mockable at the court. You say you salute, not at the court, but that you kiss hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, come briefly, instance.
Why, we are still handling our ewes, and their fells, you see, are greasy.
And do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, shallow, come. A better instance, I say, come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
Well, your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again, come, come. A sounder instance.
Why, they're still tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar? Courtiers' hands are perfumed with civet. That!
Most shallow man. Thou worm's meat. Learn of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar. The very uncleanly flops of a cow. Commend the instance, shepherd.
Oh, you have too courtly a wit for me, I'll rest.
And wilt thou rest? Damn! Oh, thou shallow man, God mend thee, oh, thou art raw.
farm, and the greatest of my pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
This is another simple sin in you, shepherd. To bring the ewes together with the rams. Oh, to offer to make your living from the copulation of cattle. To play a bawd to a bellwether. To betray a she-lamb of a 12-month to a crooked-pated, cuckoldly old ram out of all reasonable match. Oh, if thou beest not damned for this, the devil will have no shepherds. I cannot see how else thou shouldst escape. Oh, yeah.
Ah! Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth, being mounted on the wind through all the world, bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosaline. Let no fair be kept in mind but the fair of Rosaline.
I will rhyme you so 8 years together. Dinners, suppers, and sleeping hours accepted.
Out, fool.
For a taste. If a hart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosaline. Wintered garments must be lined, so must slender Rosaline. He that reaps must sheaf and bind, then to cart with Rosaline. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosaline. He that sweetest rose would find, must find love's prick and Rosaline. This is the very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, dull fool. I found them on a tree.
Truly, the tree bears bad fruit.
I'll graft it with you, and then I shall graft it with a meddler. For you'll be rotten ere you be half ripe, and that's the right virtue of the meddler.
Well, you have said, but whether truthfully or no, let the forest judge.
Stand aside. Here comes my sister reading.
Why should this a desert be? For is it unpeopled? No. Tongues will hang on every tree that shall civil saying show. Some, how bright the life of age runs his spanching of a year, buckles in the sum of age. But Rosalind, teaching all the region know the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show. Therefore, heaven nature charged that all bodies wide and filled, nature's presently distilled Helen's cheek, but not her heart. Thus Rosalind of many parts was devised, and I to live and to die her slave.
Oh, most gentle Jupiter, what tedious homilies of love have you wearied your parishioners withal, and never cried, have patience, good people?
How now? Go off a while, shepherd. Go with him, sirrah.
Come, shepherd, let us beat a honorable retreat. If not with bag and baggage, then with scrip and scrippy.
Didst thou hear those verses?
Yes. I heard them all, and more too, for some of them had more feet in them than the verses could bear.
That's no matter. The feet might bear the verses.
But these feet were lame and could not bear themselves without the verses, and therefore stood lamely in the verse.
Trow you who hath done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore upon your neck? Change your color?
I prithee who?
Oh, it is a hard matter for friends to meet, yet mountains may be removed with earthquakes, and so encounter.
Oh, but I prithee who is it?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, most wonderful, getting it, wonderful and all out whooping.
Nay, I prithee with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Is it possible?
Please tell me who it is.
So you may put a man in your belly.
Is it a matter of a man? Is he of God's making? Is his head worth a hat or his chin worth a beard?
Nay, he hath but a little beard.
Oh, God will give him more if the man will be thankful. Let me stay the growth of his beard if thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is young Orlando that tripped up both the rest of us heels and your heart at an instant.
Nay, but the devil take mocking. Speak sad brow and true, maid.
I faith, 'cause 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Oh, alas the day. What shall I do with my doublet and hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? Well, how looked he? Where and went he? What makes him here? Doth he know that I am here? Did he ask for me? Where remains he? And when how parted he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
You must bar me Gargantua's mouth first. 'Tis a word too great for any mouth of this age's size. To say aye or no to these particulars is more than to answer in a catechism.
But doth he know that I am in this forest and in man's apparel? Look he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled.
It is as easy to count atomies as it is to resolve the propositions of a lover. But take a taste of my finding him and relish it with good observance. I found him under a tree like a dropped acorn.
Oh, it may well be called Jove's tree if it drops forth such fruit.
Give me an audience, good madam.
Proceed. There he lay.
Stretched out like a wounded knight.
Oh, it may be pity to see such a sight, but it well becomes the ground.
Were I honour to thy tongue, I prithee converts unseasonably.
He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh!
Ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would sing my song without a burden, thou bringest me out of tune.
Do you not know I am a woman? When I think, I must speak. Sweet, say on.
You bring me out. Soft, comes he not here?
'Tis he. Sleep by, and note him.
I thank you for your company, good sir, but I would as lief have been myself alone.
And so I, but yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God be with you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you, mar no more trees by writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you, mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favoredly.
Rosalind is thy lover's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
Well, there was no thought in pleasing you when she was christened.
And what stature is she of?
Only as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Have you not been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so, but I answer you right, painted cloth, from whence you have studied your questions.
Huh. You have a nimble wit. I think 'twas made of Atalanta's heels. Let us sit down and rail against our mistress the world and all our misery.
I will chide no breather in the world, but myself, with whom I know most faults.
Oh, your worst fault is to be in love.
And it is not one I would change for your best virtue.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
And he is drowned in the brook. Look but in and you will see him.
There shall I see mine own figure.
Which I take either to be a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Farewell, good Signor Love.
I am glad of your departure, Monsieur Melancholy. Mwah.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that have him play the knave with me. Do you hear, Forrester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you. What is it o'clock?
You should ask what time of day it is. There is no clock in the forest.
Then there's no true lover in the forest, huh? Else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Why not the swift foot of time? Is that not as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal.
Who doth time trot withal?
Married. He trots hard with the young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. If the interim be but a se'nnight, time's pace is so hard that it seems the length of 7 years.
Well, who ambles time withal?
With a priest that lacks Latin and a rich man that hath not the gout. For the one sleeps easily because he cannot study, and the other lives merrily because he feels no pain. The one lacking the burden of lean and wasteful learning, and the other knowing no burden of heavy, tedious penury. These time ambles withal.
Well, and who stays it still withal?
With lawyers in the vacation, for they sleep between term, and then they perceive not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
Here in the forest, with my sister, like fringe upon a petticoat,
Are you native of this place?
as the coney that you see dwell where she is kindled.
Your accent is something finer than you could find in such a remote dwelling.
Indeed, I have been told so of many. But an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. One who was in his youth an inland man. One who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I'm not a woman, to be touched with so many giddy offenses as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Oh. What were some of the principal charges that he laid to the sex of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another as halfpence are, every one fault seeming monstrous until his fellow fault came to match it.
Oh, I prithee recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man haunts this forest that abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind on their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies upon brambles, all, forsooth, deifying the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I'd give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
Yeah. I am he that is so love-shaked. What is your remedy?
There are none of my uncle's marks upon you. He taught me to know a man in love, in which cage of rushes I am sure you are no prisoner.
Oh, what were his marks?